Kia ora, hello, I'm Philip Duncan. Thanks for joining us for our Wednesday weather update, recorded on the 9th of October. And just a quick programming note, we don't have a New Zealand update on Thursday, but we are back again on Friday. Let's get into the forecast. There's plenty to talk about with this big low just south of the country, and that's driving in windy weather, colder airflows, and of course the cold front that is moving up and across the North Island. Windy nor'westers, there'll be gale or severe gale in some parts of central New Zealand, and some exposed parts of the mountains in the south here as these winds come on through. Although generally speaking, it's not too bad over the South Island despite that westerly flow, which is strong in some exposed areas. And of course, this is driving in the rain and dredging up the cold. So we've got some snow in the forecast at the moment. This is the 9 o'clock on Wednesday morning setup, just before we recorded this, and you can see snow here along the Southern Alps and the Southern Ranges. The blue is rain, so we've got rain and showers. Southland getting more wet weather. I know you're very sick of it. We do have some breaks coming up. It's not going to be as wet every day, but we're not yet done with this spring pattern, which may linger right through spring this year. Some years we get an early summer. This year might be a late spring. We'll have to wait and see, but we're certainly seeing that lingering pattern down here in the south. So let's animate the next 24 hours and you'll see much of the wet weather actually starts to clear away. So by the time you wake up tomorrow morning, or by the time you're already awake, most of the wet weather has cleared away. Still a few showers lingering around the southern half of the North Island and the western sides in particular, and one or two isolated showers around the south, but conditions are actually clearing up as we go through the day. Here is the rainfall for the next 48 hours. This covers from 9 o'clock Wednesday morning to 9 o'clock Friday morning. So it's a pretty even spread around many parts of New Zealand, sheltered over here by the mountains and ranges due to the southwesterly and westerly leans. So not as much wet weather for many parts of Canterbury, but still rainfall around the country anywhere between about 5 and 15 millimetres over the next couple of days. So here is lunchtime Thursday. We've still got showers around the North Island, southwesterly winds around Auckland and Waikato blowing in a few showers. Taranaki, a bit more of a southerly, and those winds carry on around the lower part of the North Island. Maybe a few showers lingering also around the top part of the South Island. They will clear away. You can see the blue line here. That's because the high pressure zone over here dredging up that colder air, and it's kind of flicking it back a wee bit, but it fades out as the high moves a little bit closer over the next couple of days. Temperatures are down on where they've been for the North Island, but you might have noticed the southern half has lifted up on where you are for today. So a few degrees more warmth as we go in towards Thursday. In fact, 4 or 5, 6 degrees more warmth for those of you in the southern half of the South Island, but temperatures still down a wee bit in the north, especially in the southern and eastern sides. So lunchtime Friday, we've got this low offshore. It's been in the maps off and on all week, and some maps have showed it have updated it on the top of the country, others further to the east. It's in an interesting situation where high pressure is out here to the west, but the other high, the bigger one, is out to the east, and it's kind of pushing it back and more towards into the North Island. It's not 100% locked in how it's going to shape up, but you can see here showers around the North Island as a result of that newly formed low on Friday. Elsewhere, the westerly winds pick back up again, rain returns to Fiordland. Don't worry, Southland, you are mostly dry. Now on Saturday, that low does what the modelling has been suggesting all week, that it doesn't really impact us that much, starts to move away. But it is definitely worth keeping an eye on, only has to move a little bit further to the west, and next thing you know, it's raining. So keep an eye on it, but for now, the big southwesterly flow coming through here is more dominant and is starting to push it away as that high over the Pacific moves away as well. Here comes the next cold front on Saturday. So windier sou'westers over the North Island, windier conditions over many parts of the country. Not severe, but just a bit blustery in true spring style. And then that cold front moves into the North Island on Sunday, barely. It's falling apart. You can just see here the leftovers of it. But we do see some wet weather coming into North Canterbury. That'll be welcome for the farmers there and those who are on rainwater to get a bit more wet weather. Sorry, Southland, you do get a few more showers in the mix as well. But here's your good news. Next week kicks off settled over Southland. Southland's had a very, let's say, miserable end to winter and start to spring. Hopefully you'll get a bit more spring in your step here with the northwest flow kicking in on Monday, but a new low is kind of forming over the North Island, or that connected to that other one, and so there could still be some wet weather moving around. It's a very messy forecast. It's hard to kind of keep your head around what is going on with that low because it's kind of moving around, but you can see it is going to likely affect our weather as we go in towards the start of next week for the top of New Zealand. In the southern part on Tuesday, high pressure drifting in. That does bring in a bit of a southerly flow, a few showers. So we're still seeing a very messy spring pattern, a lot of chaos in there, not a lot of pattern to it all. But what you are noticing when you do sort of zoom out is that a lot of the weather coming into New Zealand is still coming from the west to southwest. That's why you're getting the complaints from the west coast and Southland about how much wet weather there has been lately, whereas further to the north of the country, far more variability, and we're not getting quite so stuck in the same weather pattern. That's all from me. Again, not here tomorrow, Thursday, with our New Zealand update, but we are back again on Friday. We look forward to seeing you then.